And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He is the head girls soccer coach for Santiago, the great Mike Fleming. And coach, man, like the sun, rising in the east and setting in the west, Santiago girls soccer in the D1 playoffs, making deep playoff runs. What do you credit the longevity and just being able to be competitive year after year, whether it's the Big 8 League or the CIF playoffs? You guys are always in the hunt.
I think that the main thing is just blessed with a talented core group of soccer players that come in and year out that have bought into our game model and bought into our philosophy as far as soccer players. And, I strongly believe that it has to start with the players first, I think. And we're very fortunate to have the players we have. And then I think secondly is, we have support from our admin, the school's very supportive, the community supportive, but also, when it comes to the coaching aspect, been very fortunate to have a staff that has been together for a long time from top to bottom, and then just recently, Coach Jollier, Cheyenne, he's a local club coach with Future FC, formerly BYSC. He's our technical director, and he has been a huge part of our success as we've continued to stay in Division I and be kind of hopefully a mainstay and someone that's competitive. So he's been a huge part as well.
Coach, when you look at the regular season, especially through Big 8 League play, do you feel like there was enough matches where you guys were pushed a little bit, tested, enough that when you got to the D1 playoffs, you feel like, okay, we've had some close matches. We found ways to win those close matches. We're ready to play some really good teams, like your first one against Huntington Beach. I think you're on the road at Brea Olinda. How would you, when you look at the regular season, how did that prepare you for this playoff run in D1?
Yeah, it's one of the things we try to do. We deliberately try to play a tough Division I heavy preseason, kind of a pre-CIF preseason. We were able to play J. Sarah, we played Los Al, played Mater Dei, played Temecula, and they're all doing great right now. So that's the first part that prepares us for league. And then league, it's always fun because then you've got your inter district rivalries between schools, and all the girls know each other. And, Norco pushed us with a stellar back line and great goalkeeping, just being athletic. We had some tight matches with them. King, of course, they pushed us. Roosevelt, we were down 2-0 to Roosevelt in the second game in the second round of league at their place in a must-win game. We lose that game, we're tied for first, and they have the tiebreaker. So we found a way to keep our composure, and we managed to kind of 5 unanswered goals. So absolutely, league preseason's always prepared us. So we'd rather play anybody, and even if it makes us, absorb a loss, we'd rather do that than get some easy wins, if you will, and not really feel battle tested.
Coach, let's do some name dropping. Who are, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but maybe some of the seniors or your captains. Who are some of the players that have really come up big for you, whether it's on the offensive end, goalkeeping, defense on the back line? Who are some of the players that have really, stepped up this season for you?
We're fortunate. We have a total of 13 seniors this year, so that means not only the maturity level, just age-wise, and that's one of the unique things about high school soccer. You get girls, if you got freshmen on the team, 14 years old, all the way up to 18. So there's that big maturity gap. So we have 13 seniors on the team, and they've been instrumental just helping girls with learning the ropes, understanding what the process is, understanding what the program's about. One player that's been really huge is Sammy Salinas as a midfielder. She knows and understands the program. She's been on the varsity team for 4 years. She's been a huge mainstay for us in the midfield and has really stepped up. Another one would be KT, as everyone calls her, but Caitlin Taylor. She's done magnificently, filling right into that spot and that void we have when Autumn Tompkins left up top. So those are 2 players in the middle. And then, Haley Clark has been a mainstay as our center back, as a senior, as well as our 2 goalkeepers. Those are just a couple players off the top of my head. But in reality, I think our success as a team really comes from not just 1 or 2 players, but I know it sounds so cliche, but really trying to find the best players for those 11 spots and having 11 great players in one specific position. to where you have 11 great players on the field all contributing to each other. And I think that's what's helped us this year is our balance and just the consistency.
Coach, being ranked so high throughout the entire season in the the weekly CIF Southern Section poll, obviously when you got big time matches against Norco and King and Roosevelt, on a weekly basis, and there's some games right in front of you that you have to put all your attention to, but do you at least kind of look at the top 10? You're like, okay, we see this team, we see that team, we got to at least see what's on the horizon in terms of what's coming up in the playoffs. I mean, do you keep tabs on maybe some of these other programs like a Brea Olinda that you're going to see now, that before you get to the playoffs, you kind of know what's already going on?
Well, that's one of the reasons we play the preseason schedule we do. We want to challenge ourselves so that when we get to playoffs, it's not a surprise when you see a Los Al or you see a Mater Dei or you run into a Huntington Beach, who comes from arguably one of the toughest leagues in the Southern section, with Los Al, Edison, Corona Del Mar, Huntington Beach, all in that same league. So it's cliche to say we take it one game at a time, but of course, as coaches, we're always you always try to measure yourself with where you're at. We don't really buy in too much into the rankings because that's just for posterity and just for conversation for fans and such. But ultimately, playing a team like Temecula early in the preseason, well, that helps us. We go down to their place, and Temecula is always a tough team. I mean, right now they're blowing through their season as well, and you always want to play those teams. So A, you can figure out where you're at, and then B, if it's not where you want to be, you can fix the things that need to be fixed when you're into this part of the season, where if you lose, you're out.
All right, Coach, let's finish it up like this. Full disclosure, we're pre-recording this interview because you guys will be on the pitch the same time the Inland Sports Show is airing. But finish this sentence. In order for Santiago to beat Brea Olinda and advance in the D1 playoffs, the Sharks must, and complete the sentence.
Maintain our game model in terms of how we play and execute what we want to do. Dictate the play with what we're doing, not so much responding to what they're doing. Ask questions of them and force them to solve them. And hopefully they can't solve as many as we can.
That is always the plan, right, as the head coach.
Right?
Coach Fleming, listen, thank you so much for your time. And again, I'll be on the air as you guys are on the pitch, and hopefully you guys continue to win. If you continue to win, we'll have to keep bringing you back, and maybe some of your players as well, hopefully with some hardware at the end of the season.
That's the hope, but, one game at a time. So, we'll see where we're at.
That is Mike Fleming, everybody, from Santiago Girls Soccer here on the Inland Sports Show.